Guanabara Bay was discovered in 1502 by Portuguese explorers Gaspar de Lamas and Gonçalo Coelho. Portuguese navigator Pedro Álvares Cabral was the first European to discover Brazil. The areas were inhabited initially by native South American tribes. Yet, a discovery in 1982 made people wonder if history was correct. What artifacts were found, and what is the mystery behind the discovery? Learn more in tonight's episode of the Faith and Mystery Files. Where is Guanabara Bay? Guanabara Bay is a body of water located near southwestern Brazil. As mentioned earlier, explorers Gaspar de Lemos and Gonçalo Coelho were the first to officially discover the bay. They originally named it Rio de Janeiro Bay. The area is about 18 miles wide and 19 miles long. Again, Pedro Álvares Cabral is known for discovering the nation Brazil in 1500. But there is not much known about the original inhabitants of the area other than that they were native. What was found in Guanabara Bay? In 1976, lobster divers were diving near the coast of Brazil in the Guanabara Bay. One of the divers was a man named José Roberto Teixeira. He said that he and the other divers had found some interesting pots. They didn't even realize they were clay pots at first, because of all the barnacles on the jars. But after brushing them off, they brought a few back with them. After studying the artifacts, it was soon discovered that these jars were clay pots made to hold food, such as grain, corn, and even oil. These jars were also a distinct type called amphorae. They were specifically designed pots that were known to be used by Romans, Greeks, and Phoenicians. Many were unsure of what to think. It wasn't until 1982 that more was added to this mystery. After hearing about the findings in 1976, an explorer by the name of Robert Marks went to Guanabara Bay in 1982 to try and find more artifacts from the area. He, Dr. Harold Edgerton, and a small team set out to search the bay along the coast of Brazil. They received permission from the Brazilian government and were soon able to gather the equipment they needed. The area they began to search had dark, murky water, so it took several dives before they were able to find something, and what they found was astonishing. He and his team were able to find over 200 amphorae pots, as well as other artifacts that pointed to a shipwreck that could have possibly happened over 1,000 years ago. This find was significant, as it would have been about 500 years before the Portuguese explorers had discovered the area. The new evidence was so surprising that word soon spread. Roger Marks hoped to take a second expedition to recover the other artifacts that his team found. So while he was in the process of setting it up, the pots were sent to several universities and historical societies. One of the professors who studied the vessel made the following statement. The highly publicized amphorae Robert Marks found in the ship are in fact similar in shape to jars produced in kilns at Kouas on the west coast of Morocco. The Rio jars look to be late versions of those jars, perhaps datable to the 3rd century AD. I have a large piece of one of the Rio jars, but no labs I have consulted have any clay similar in composition. So the edges of the earth for Rome, beyond India and Scotland and Eastern Europe, remained shrouded in mystery. However, in 1983, it is said that the Brazilian government denied Robert Marks a second excavation permission. They did not give him an explanation for the denial as well. An argument then ensued between Marks and the Brazilian government, where an article was published in the New York Times on June 25, 1985, detailing the dispute. So now we must look at the theories behind this mystery. Why were the jars and artifacts there? One theory is that Robert Marks lied to get fame. He is known for numerous excavations and dives in which he has found many artifacts, so it makes this theory less likely to be accurate. especially with the facts, as the jars have been proven to be authentic with other divers finding them only several years earlier. Another theory suggests that the Brazilian government is trying to cover up the findings. Robert Marks has stated that he believes they purposefully dumped a thick layer of silt to prevent further excavations. Yet Brazilian officials answered these statements by showing that Robert Marks and his team were selling artifacts from the shipwreck that he had failed to report. Because of this, he broke the terms of his agreement with the Brazilian government concerning his first excavation. Furthermore, Marks is said to have refused to answer the NYT reporter by saying, "Don't bother me," which seems somewhat suspicious. So now we see that Robert Marks found actual artifacts, yet because he failed to follow the terms, he lost the ability to go further. The next question would then be, why are these artifacts there? It's possible that a shipwreck could have occurred. It would explain the pots and other valuables. However, where did the survivors go? Were there any? Or could they be among the original inhabitants? Wouldn't it change history? What do you think? Thank you so much for watching this episode of the Faith and Mystery Files. Tell us your thoughts on the Roman ruins in the comment section below. If you want to hear more intriguing true stories, check out our previous episodes. Thank you again, and may God bless you.